for the microphone and the rodeo roll. Glen Morgan was a champion long before the score. 7 bronc titles riding high through the dust. 5 bareback crowns on horses built to buck and bust. And with 6 all-around wins, he proved it again and again. A true Australian cowboy long before he held the pen. He wasn't chasing glory, he wasn't chasing fame, just a country boy building up a good, honest name. 40 years of Glen Morgan, and the whole bush knows that voice. From the bucking chutes to the camp draft runs, he's the sound behind the noise. He calls the wins, he calls the falls, with a steady, knowing grin. Australia's premier cowboy announcer, and the legend starts with Glen. From dusty showgrounds to the big-time stage, he carried the stories of the riders of every age. And when Glen Morgan stepped to the mic, the whole crowd leaned in, 'cause he spoke like a man who'd lived every inch. 40 national finals, standing tall in the stand, the voice of the outback across this wide red land. Not just an announcer, a keeper of the lore, a voice that carries legends from the riders who came before. 40 years of Glen Morgan, and the whole bush knows that sound. From the muster camps to the rodeo towns, he's the heartbeat of the ground. He calls the wins, he calls the falls, with a steady, knowing grin. Australia's premier cowboy announcer, and the legend starts with Glen. Here's to the miles, the mates, the dust, the riders he's honored, the crowds he's earned trust. 40 years standing where legends begin. Raise your hats to Glen Morgan again. 40 years of Glen Morgan, and he's still standing tall, a true voice of the outback, answering the call. He calls the wins, he calls the falls, with a steady, knowing grin. Australia's premier cowboy announcer, and the country rides with Glen.